Welcome to Archeotech Assimilation, where we discover and investigate the technology of the Imperium and the tools of chaos.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Iron and Ceramite. We're just going to do a quick review, really, of Warhammer Plus and the first episode that we've watched so far, which is Angels of Death, Blood and Duty. As always, well, not as always, there's only three of us tonight, but I'm joined by John.
Hello.
And Glenn.
Evening.
So without further ado, let's get cracking. And what did you guys think of it? John, I'll come to you first.
Yeah, I really liked it. Obviously, we saw the 5-minute or whatever it was release when they first announced Warhammer Plus, and I was already quite keen for it then. But seeing like the whole episode unfold, I really enjoyed it. I like the characters. I like the animation. Mostly, obviously, there's a bit of an issue with the mouth movement, I think.
That's the only thing that upset me. I mean, not upset me. You're going to expect little bits and pieces to go wrong. It's the first airing and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a little bit hard to watch the way they was moving their mouth, and not just their mouth, but their heads. They were sort of like, but, yeah,
I think there's enough going on that in the background, and there's enough like awesome stuff to sort of look at scene setting that's distracting enough, and it's only like a minor thing. But other than that, I really liked it. I like the fact that it's almost all black and white, apart from red on their armor and certain things in the background. I like that as well. Gives it a good look.
Yeah, I really like the artistic style of it as well. But there was one. I know it wouldn't have really have gone with the style they was going for, but I wanted green lenses. That's all, just for that touch of difference. And I think real Blood Angels, it looks so much better. But yeah, I know they was doing the whole black, white, and red thing. So fair enough.
What about
you, Glenn?
Oh, which one am I answering? Both of you?
Answer the great one, me. Just don't worry about John.
Yeah, no, I really liked it. Same issue, weird mouth movements, but it was only on some of the characters. I can't remember her name, but the ship's captain.
Yeah.
I didn't notice it at all on her, and she looked really good. But on some of the males, their head just seemed a little bit off. It was a bit too white, and the color was just a little bit off of that. I think it could done with being a little bit grayer with some of them. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how the story unfolds. But yeah, overall, you're pretty pleased.
Yeah. I think I noticed it most on her, to be fair. So it's weird. Isn't it? I suppose it's what you're paying attention to. We'll notice different.
I really paid attention to her because I looked at her thinking, it.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Thanks for adding that, Glenn. Yeah. Should we leave it there? Right. See you later, guys.
Cool. So yeah. Other than that, it's really good. So should we just sort of get to the spoiler portion now? We'll touch on the episode as a whole. It's only 18 minutes, so it won't be too long. And just sort of go through the beats of the story leading up to episode 2. If you guys are happy with that.
Yeah, go for it, man.
Cool. So we obviously start this clip with Captain Orfeo, who is single-handedly, in more ways than one, taking on a swarm down on the planet. Single-handedly, because as you can see in the picture there, he is missing one of his arms.
So did you just have to explain your own joke?
Yeah, I did.
He was so pleased with it, he couldn't.
It's just quite dark, so just in case, I wanted everyone to get the joke. So yeah, he's cracking on down below on the planet, and we then pretty much stay for the rest of the story on board a strike cruiser called the Sword of Bow, which I think they said they're stranded between warp storms above the planet Naiades, which is where the captain is. And I think on board they said they've sort of come away from a battle and they've got quite a few stores of gene seeds that they're trying to get back to their home planet. So the guys that are left on the ship are there to protect that. And then what's the first guy we come to?
Kazarian?
Kazarian, yeah.
So the Death Watch guy. So he's obviously just come back from the Death Watch. It remains to be seen exactly why he was there and all that, or why he got sent there or chose to go there. I'm not exactly sure how that works.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a pretty cool character. I actually really like the animation of the way he looks. I just, it was the same as with all of them. The mouth didn't quite add up, and some of the head movements were a bit strange. But other than that, I like the way this character looks all round.
And he was having like a vision or a flashback, I think.
It looked like the onset. He was trying to keep off out the Black Rage. To me, I thought that looked like Horus with these talons, and he's obviously laugh and red eyes, about to finish off Sanguinius.
That was my perception of it as well.
Oh, cool. And then when he's got the blood dripping down, so is that just like an onset of the Black Rage, or is that something else? For you guys who know a bit more about Blood Angels,
probably just bit his tongue where he was trying to concentrate so much. I don't know. Not sure. Because he looked like he was having a bit of a hard time, didn't he?
Yeah. And he's like, basically, he's got the ump that they're sitting around doing nothing, and then Chaplain Raphael comes up to him because they're old friends and tries to reassure him, and they have a bit of a falling out, and he storms off, doesn't he? And then we jump down to these two guys, Sergeant Archeus and the Tech Marine Hardrail, I think his name was. Yeah, they were down in I think that's the Gene Seed store behind them. So I think that's all the vials that they're sort of rummaging around.
So this was my favourite character, this guy, Archeus, is it? Yeah. Sergeant Archeus. I'm assuming he's an apothecary. Obviously, they did sort of say that he had the helix on his helmet when he put it on. Obviously, he's not in the sanguinary priesthood yet, as you heard in the video. But he looks to me like a blood angel. I know I said that Khazarian looked cool as a space marine, but this guy to me looked much more like how I imagine a blood angel to look. Obviously, Sons of Sanguinius, when it goes into the light, you can see his hair's quite fair, and he's got that sort of look with his cheekbones and all that, the way that I'd imagine they would look. Yeah, he's another cool character.
Yeah. And then I really like them. And then they're obviously talking about how they need to preserve the gene seed and get it back for their new initiates, and that will be a way of honouring those that are dead. And then they bring down the carapace of a dread. So hopefully we'll see that kick into action at some point in this series as well.
And it said Ignis on the front, if I'm not mistaken. I'm assuming that's the name of the warrior inside. Yeah, or I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, I would have thought so, because they've all got sort of scroll work with their names on. So I assume that as well. So yeah, and then we go up to the bridge to Captain Sulkin.
She's fit, isn't she?
Fit Glenn.
Yeah.
She's got a bit of a dodgy mouth, but other than that, she's all right, I suppose. Anyway, so she's talking to the orbital command ships around the planet, and they basically all agreeing that they've lost contact with the planet's surface where Captain Orfeo is. And she's basically giving them a hard time because they need to rescue their captain. And later, the navigator tells them he's found a way out of this system, but do you like the rhyme there?
Yeah, sorry.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, later, navigator.
Yeah. So anyway, he tells them that they've got a way out, but they've only got a short window, and they need to make a decision of what to do. So she summons the angels to the deck, and essentially they have a massive argument of some of them saying their mission is to get back to Baal and take the gene seed, and the others are saying, no, we need to be loyal and go and rescue the captain. And whilst they're arguing, a signal goes off so that they've managed to pick up his homing beacon, and the decision is made that they will go to the planet on a rescue mission and basically head to the drop pods. And the episode ends in everyone suiting up and getting ready and going to the drop pods, and we get this pretty awesome shot of the servo skulls gearing up this guy, flying his sword and his gun around. I thought that was pretty cool. So that's the end of episode 1. So far so good. Looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, definitely. I think I've waited for quite a while to see some decent Blood Angels animations. And like we say, even though it's not perfect, I really like the idea of the story. Even in such a short video, it's definitely building up to something. And obviously with the release of the drop pods at the end, you're like, can't wait for this next bit now.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Drop pods irritate you, though.
Drop pods irritate me?
Yeah.
Do they? I thought I'm completely lost there.
Because it's one of the little continuity things that made me go, 10 guys can fit in the drop pod. you can only fit 5 in animation apparently.
I see. Yeah, because they one each. Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, okay, because they go in and there's supposed to be 2 per door, but they went in and there was one guy facing outwards in each door. I was like, oh, come on, Games Workshop, you're producing this stuff now. Make sure the little things are factually right.
But maybe it's a tactical decision so they're not land. If one of them gets blown out the sky, they've got another one to get down there. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket and all your soldiers in one drop pod.
It's not like they had empty spaces in the drop pod.
I think we'll maybe tweet them, mate. Get an answer. Demand an explanation for their.
No, remember, they watch our show anyway. They do everything we say now, don't they? So they'll be.
We mentioned it on the podcast now, so it'll be fine.
Yeah. The start of the next episode will be like, oh, after watching this Iron and Ceramite video, we've quickly rectified an issue, and it's only one drop pod.
Yeah. Maybe they're one of our 47 viewers. Who knows?
Maybe. Cool. So, any final thoughts or closing statements to go out on?
No, I think I've said my only gripes. I don't know if Glenn's got any gripes or major successes. What do you think, Glenn?
It's not so much gripes. I was actually pleased with the voice acting.
Yeah.
Whereas the mouth movement was a little bit distracting. The actual voices weren't too bad. They weren't like over the top.
No, they were really good. It was really good.
Like I thought the best voice stuff was the non-Space Marine side of stuff, like the captain and all of the little people floating around the bridge and stuff. I thought that was all really.
Yeah.
And it was just nice to see a really good visual representation of like a ship's bridge, because you see little pieces in like little cutscenes and video games and stuff, but to see more expanded stuff that you only read about in the books, I think is going to be good going forward. I think you're just going to get more of this in loads of different series.
No, I agree, definitely. Cool. So let us know in the comments what you thought of this first episode, what you're hoping to see, and generally what you think of Warhammer Plus in general, or jump over onto our Facebook and talk to us there. Obviously, we're on Instagram, Iron and Ceramite. Just type it into Google and you can find us anywhere. Facebook, Twitter. Obviously, please do like, share, and subscribe to this video. And then just look for us everywhere that you can Google on Ceramite. You can see all the pictures for Twitch, Patreon, Element Games. Our link will be in the description below, and we are on Patreon. And then come join our clan on combat cards as well. So that's all for this episode. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
As always, we would like to thank you for listening to our Iron and Ceramite podcast. If you liked us, then you can also find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and any other good podcast services. Just remember, in the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war.